Rabbitohs!
G'day guys and welcome back to AdosTheGreat YouTube channel. So guys, in today's video I'll be going through how I went in round 7 and then I'll be giving you my round 8 NRL tips. Super excited to jump in and run through how I went. Well, not really, because it was a horrible week, but we move forward from that and hopefully this week is going to be much better. I'm pretty sure I've said that for like the last 3 weeks though, so fingers crossed we can be better, but we'll see how we go. Guys, if you can, please do hit that like button and subscribe. We hit 10,000 subs just last month, or late February it would have been. So, you know, really do appreciate all your support. And yeah, if you have hit that sub button, thank you so much. And if you haven't yet, I'm a pretty nice guy. I reckon you should just smash that sub button. It takes 2 seconds, completely free. And yeah. Anyway, without further ado, let's jump into this. Round 7. So the Manly Sea Eagles taking on the Dragons. I backed in Manly. Thought at Brookvale they'd get the job done. Dragons, to their credit, were very good, man. They're putting together a good squad in 2025. So credit to them. Friday, Good Friday football. Obviously, I backed in the Rabbitohs. I never tip against South Sydney. You know me. Yeah, that was a disappointing one. 32-0. We didn't score a try. Look, if you want me to talk about the Rabbitohs more, please go and check it out on my TikTok account because I talk about that game a little bit more in depth over there and I don't want to waste time talking about it now. So disappointing result. Obviously we didn't get the tip. Bulldogs look incredible. We move on. All right, Dolphins and Storm. Obviously I took the Storm here. Most people did. I think there was like 92% tip Storm. Incredible win from the Dolphins. Though Storm looked crazy good. It was like 16-2 in the first half. I thought they were going to run away with it, but the Dolphins, what a second half. They just absolutely tore shreds through the Storm. So credit to the Dolphins. Great win there. Warriors and Broncos. I originally had the Warriors here, and this is the second time I've changed my tip. The first time was I tipped the Raiders to beat the Broncos, and the Broncos. And then I changed to the Broncos. Broncos lost. Same thing here. I tipped the Warriors. And then I went, no, you know what? That back line's pretty I'm going to tip the Broncos. Again, we stuff up there. And it's another tip wrong. So very disappointing there. Backed in the Panthers by 4 to beat the Roosters. They actually won this one by 28 points. So very good win there for the Panthers. Do I think that they're back to their competitive self? No, not really, but I do think they're on the right track moving forward. Titans and Raiders. Obviously, I backed in the Raiders here. I did say that there's every chance the Titans could win this game, and they went up 16-0 pretty quickly in this one, but unfortunately couldn't hold it, and we take that because that's another tip right. I then backed in the Sharks to beat the Knights. Newcastle look horrible in 2025, so this was a pretty easy tip in my opinion. Sharkies, they weren't perfect, but this is probably one of the better games I've seen from them. Newcastle were just horrible. I then backed in the Tigers at home to beat the Eels. Yeah, that was a poor tip there too. Eels. I know, Mitch Moses comes back and they look like a completely different side. So 16-point win there for the Eels. Tigers, look, a lot of crap going on in the media at the moment. I think they just move on from this and aim up and try and be better next week. That's what I would do anyway. Alrighty, round 8. Here are my tips for round 8, starting with the Broncos and Doggies. So Broncos probably without Reece Walsh. Bulldogs pretty much full strength now, I think. I genuinely don't see a world where the Broncos win. I know it's at Suncorp. You know, Broncos, they could be up for this one, but I doubt it, man. I think Bulldogs win, and I do think that I'll get to the margin at the end of the video, but I think Bulldogs win. Roosters and Dragons, this one is always a cracking clash. Anzac Day footy, you love to see it. Roosters, 56% of people think they win this one. I disagree. I'm going with the away team again. I think the Dragons get the job done here. Moving on to the next one, Warriors and Knights. It's crazy that only 8% of people are tipping the Knights, but I do agree. Over in Christchurch, I believe this one is. I think the Warriors will be too good. I think they get the job done there. Storm and Rabbitohs. Yeah, You know I'm always going to back in the boys. And I genuinely do believe that we could put up a good fight against the Storm. I really do. We should get players coming back. I think Tai Munro is pretty close to returning. I think we will probably get 1 or 2 players back this week, which is great for us. And Harry Grant being out, that's another plus. But after that loss to the Dolphins, I think Storm will definitely be up for this game, especially in Melbourne as well. This is a very, very tough game for us. But obviously, I am backing with my heart here, tipping the Rabbitohs as I always do. Cowboys and Titans is the next one. In North Queensland, I think the Cowboys win this one, and I actually think they win it by, I'm going to go 16. I reckon they win it double digits here, and Cowboys they're just going to be too strong up there in North Queensland. Panthers and Seagulls. Last week, if you'd asked me, I probably would have gone with Manly before last week, but now the Panthers bounce back against the Roosters. Great win. Manly they look so disappointing against the Dragons last week. I think Panthers win this one. And I do think it's probably a good bounce-back win for them too. Raiders and Dolphins. In Canberra, I do think the Raiders win. But this is definitely a game that I could potentially see going either way. And before today, if you'd said Tigers versus Sharks, I think this one's at Leichhardt as well. I probably would have gone the Tigers, to be completely honest with you. But I am going to back in the Sharks. Yeah, I just think Tigers they weren't great today. I think they need to get through a lot of the crap in the media. Once that's sorted, I do think that they can turn it around a bit. All right, let's go through this game by game quickly to recap, and I'll give you a margin and 1 try scorer. So I'm not going to do one from both. I'm going to do a try scorer from the team I've got winning moving forward. So Bulldogs, Broncos. Bulldogs, I'm going to say 1-12, but on the higher end of a 1-12. So maybe like a 10-12 winning margin there. And for the Bulldogs, I'm going to go with Viliami Kikau to score for them. Roosters and Dragons, obviously back in the Dragons here. I'm going to say 1-12 margin, and I'm going to say Valentine Holmes scores there for the Dragons. Warriors and Knights, I think Warriors win. I actually think they win this one 13+, and I am going to say Tuapiki scores on the wing there for them, because C&K should be back in that one. So Warriors 13+, Tuapiki scoring for them. Rabbitohs 1-12 over the Storm. And for the try scorer, I'm going to say Latrell finally crosses. Finally, please Latrell, we need you to score. All right, next up, Cowboys, obviously 13+ over the Titans. And I'm going to go Robert Derby to score for them. Panthers and Seagulls. Panthers, I'm going to say a 13+ win for them as well. And I'm going to say, I'm going to go Liam Martin to cross in that one. Raiders and Dolphins. Raiders, I'm going to say win this one 13+. I do think they will be too good for the Dolphins. I know the Dolphins play well against the Storm, but in Canberra, I'm backing in the Raiders 13+. And I'm going to go Huddy Young to score again. And then Sharkies, I do think they probably win. I'm going to say 1-12 because I do think the Tigers will try and be a bit more competitive. But I'm going to go with, if he plays, Hiroti to score anytime there for the Sharkies. So they are my tips this week, guys. Drop yours down below. Please leave a like and subscribe. Really helps the growth of the channel and all that good stuff. And as always, my friends, I will see you in the next one. Thanks, guys.